Hey guys, welcome back. It's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. Happy New Year to you all. I wanted to go ahead and do this week's video on kind of a topic that comes up pretty regularly, I feel like, when people are shopping for cars, right? We want to find the best deal we can. And right now, used cars are demanding a premium. I mean, they've come down from where they were, but used cars are very expensive. I think days of, $1,000, $2,000, even $3,000 or $4,000 reliable good used cars are probably gone. It seems like a good used car, starts at $5,000, and to get something that's nice or even halfway nice, you're probably looking closer to 10 grand. And then up from there, if you want something that's newer and lower miles and all those things. So something that comes up pretty regularly is, what are good deals on new cars? When we look at, used cars being anywhere from, let's say, 5,000 to, 30,000 is not unusual for a used car anymore, especially if it's only a few years old. What's shocking is most people don't know that there are still brand new cars that you can buy under $20,000. Now, I'll tell you, there aren't many. There are not many. Generally, new cars are all starting at $25,000 to $30,000 and then move up, and some move up in a hurry. Think about once upon a time, a new Ford F-150 pickup started in the 20s. Now you're impossibly going to find one. It's not easy to find one under $50,000 or $55,000. And no auto manufacturer anymore really builds a base model car. They all have power, everything. They all have just as many options. I think where there's a few changes might be heated seats and things like that, the real luxurious pieces. But it's very rare to find, crank windows in a 2022 model vehicle. They're just not there. So they've kind of lifted the low end of where cars start because they're going to tell you, well, it comes fully loaded, whatever. It may, but you can also customize them beyond that. And so, if we look at a new sports car of any sort, let's call it a Mustang, a base model V6 car, might be high 20s or 30,000 bucks. If you add, you upgrade to the V8, or if you add any of the number performance packages, the sports pack, the technology pack, all these other things, very quickly your $29,000 car is 45 grand. Like, that's just the way it is. And of course, there's financing games and gimmicks that allow you to qualify for that kind of stuff, even if you don't need it or want it. So let's talk about cars that are sub 20 grand, because there's only a few, and that's what we're going to focus on today. There are 6 cars, and I want to say it was US News or US Weekly or one of these, random publications I found on social media, and it broke down, I think it was the 20 cheapest cars that you can buy in the United States in 2024. And I'm going to hone in on really the bottom 6, because those are the only 6 that are under $20,000. Now, before we expose that list, I'm going to tell you the reason that they're under 20 grand is because these are truly the last base model cars out there. Okay. Now, you can spec any one of these cars if you go to the websites. And again, I'm going to tell you what they are here in a moment. But if you go to their websites and you start upgrading them, you add leather interior and you add, maybe a different paint color or whatever, right? You add the floor mats, you add anything, the price jumps dramatically. So again, this is bare bones, very inexpensive. And I guess my last word of caution before we dive into this is I don't know how many are produced at these values or at these costs. The very first car on the list, and I'm going to go backwards, okay? I'm scrolling next to your here. The number 6 cheapest car in America, starting base price is $19,990, so $19,990, and it is a base model 2024 Kia Soul. So I would tell you what's funny about this. It's 20 grand, 19,999 or 19,990. Of these 6 cars, this one's rated the highest. Now, that makes sense because it's the most expensive of the six, right? It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that you might want to expect. It's not going to have navigation. It's not going to have heated seats. It's not going to have any of the great creature comforts that we've all wanted and sort of come to rely on in most cars anymore. But I'm going to read you a quick little blurb. It says the Kia Soul has spacious interior, easy to use technology, and confident handling. It comes with a whopping 147 horsepower 4-cylinder engine and it's front wheel drive. It's slightly disappointing from an otherwise great crossover. While the Soul delivers engaging handling and comfort, it seats 5 passengers generously with extra space in both rows, and it is attractive. So it's a subjective review, right? Again, this is not my words, but for $19,990, they rated it a score of 8.5 out of 10, which to me is pretty good. I mean, I don't know what their number 20 is on the cheapest cars in America. When we get, again, this is number 6 going backwards. So now we're going to move into number 5. And this one's a little bit less expensive, not a ton, but it's the 2024 Kia Forte. So I'm going to immediately tell you the price, $19,790. So this is $200 less than the base model Kia Soul. But this is a much smaller car. This is a compact 4-door car. And the overall score rating on this one is 7.7 out of 10. So if you remember, I just said that the Kia Soul was an 8.5. This one's a 7.7. That's a pretty dramatic drop for only $200 less money. Now their little blurb here, it says Kia did a great job with the Forte, giving it a nice cabin and a fantastic fuel economy. The base engine isn't super energetic, but returns up to 30 miles per gallon in the city and 41 on highway. It's got a continually variable transmission, which causes the engine to whine and drone at times. But the cabin is outfitted nicely. So it might not be soundproof and you're going to hear that drone of the transmission and exhaust and whatever else. But you know what? For $19,790, a brand new car can be yours. Now, I'm going to stop right there and tell you that these two first ones are awesome because Kia has a fantastic warranty. So if you go buy a brand new $20,000 Kia, it's going to have a 100,000 mile powertrain warranty and all those things. And for a while, they were doing a deal with free services. So oil changes and stuff like that were built in up to 100,000 miles. So in theory, this could be a one-time $20,000 purchase that you don't have to worry about for a long time, especially if you don't drive that much. I mean, these warranties are good for 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years in some cases. And don't quote me on any of this because I don't know for sure, but that's generally how long warranties last. And at 100,000 miles, if it takes you 7 or 8 years to get there, you've had a warranty most of the way. You're pretty problem-free for 20 grand. And then do the math on that. $20,000 divided by, let's say, 7 years is just under $3,000 a year. And then you divide that by 12, right? And you're talking $250 a month is what it costs for you to own and drive a brand new Kia with a warranty right off the showroom floor. So not a bad way to go if you can justify that. And if you're looking for a new car, those are two very viable options. But let's move into number 3. Number 3 is the 2023 Hyundai Venue. Now, this is a small, I would call it an SUV. You guys judge for yourself. But their little blurb says, the Hyundai Venue is small, but it's packed with value. It gets solid fuel economy and is extremely easy to maneuver in tight places. Its engine is underpowered, delivering just 121 horsepower, but that can be overlooked at this price point. Hyundai sells it exclusively with front-wheel drive, but the Venue has driving modes to assist with snow and other conditions. Now, I jumped over the price on this one unintentionally. I apologize. The price on this one is $19,650. Okay, so another, I'll call it $140 off the last car, the Kia Forte. Now, this one does specifically say 2023, so I don't know if they're coming back with this in 24. But for now, the 23, this is number 3 on the list, which is fine, right? And it gave a score of 7.6, so 0.1 lower than the last Kia Forte, okay? Now moving into the next one, 2023 Kia Rio. I will tell you the price immediately, $16,750. So this is a budget Kia. Overall score 7.8 out of 10, so a little bit better than the last two at less money. Again, $16,750. So this one says the Kia Rio Sport, it sports an incredible warranty and returns stellar fuel economy, so they touch on the warranty. At the same time, it does make 120 horsepower and plenty of noise. The Rio provides a comfortable ride. However, it returns up to 41 miles per gallon on the highway. So this sounds somewhat familiar to the Forte. The Rio is available in hatchback or sedan, and both have decent room for front seat passengers. Okay, that's number 4. Moving on. Number 5 is the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. Now, this is a car that has been reinvented. Once upon a time, it was a 4-door sedan. It was kind of what the original Lancer the Mitsubishi Evolution was based on the Mirage body style. Then it was transformed to the Lancer Evolution, and then those both went away, ultimately coming back in later times. Now the Mirage has a starting base price of $16,695. So very, very close to the Kia Rio. I think it's something like $55 less money. The problem with this is it has an overall score of only 5.5. So this one rated really low. In fact, spoiler alert, this was the lowest rated car on the list. The quick blurb is very short. It says the Mirage is one of the cheapest cars on the market, but unfortunately it feels that way. It is available as a sedan or a hatchback, and the latter has an improved cargo capacity of 47 cubic feet with the rear seats folded down. This Mitsubishi comes with a whopping 78 horsepower and is front wheel drive. Yeah. So this is a budget commuter car. It's not something that you'd ever want to take a trip in or really spend a ton of time in. It's great for grocery getting and a short commute back and forth to the office or whatever it is, but it's not going to give you much performance with 78 horsepower. And I mean, I don't think it looks all that awesome either. So again, that's objective. Okay. And the number one cheapest car in America this year is the 2023 Nissan Versa with a starting price, base price of $15,830. That's cheap, right? That's literally 75% or 80% of the number 6 car that we started with going back, the Kia. This one has an overall score of 7.7, so that's awesome. It's a lot better than the 5.5 from the Mitsubishi. And its blurb says the Visa is shockingly cheap and comes with a solid list of features. It's got a 122 horsepower engine, and while it is underpowered in most situations, its ride quality leaves much to be desired. That said, fuel economy is generous with up to 40 miles per gallon on the highway. So this is another little 4-cylinder engine, front wheel drive sedan. I would tell you it is a little bit more attractive than, for sure the Mitsubishi. I might say this is more attractive than the Kias and the Hyundai as well. But, I think Nissan, for the most part, does build a pretty nice car. But I don't know. I mean, I like that the overall score is 7.7. That would make me want to buy this over the Mitsubishi and save money. But, and again, I think this looks better. I think this probably, I don't know. I like it. I like it better, I guess is what it comes down to. So those are the 6 cheapest cars in America for 2024. And I wanted to share that with you because, again, that does come up every once in a while. And sometimes people are looking for a grocery getter, or maybe they're looking at spending 15 grand on a car and they don't know they can buy a brand new car with a warranty. Or, if you've got 12 or 13 grand to buy a used car, maybe it's worth the extra $2,000 to buy something that hasn't been thrashed by somebody else, still comes with a warranty and gets you 40 miles a gallon. I love that. So that's all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to share this stuff and let you know that there are still some bargains to be had. Not many. And again, these are new cars. I'm wondering what these cars look like used. Neighbor and his diesel. But if I can get a 2021 Nissan Versa that was $15,000 new 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I wonder what a used one would look like today. I mean, is it still worth 15 grand? Time will tell. That's all I got for you guys this week. May every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.